You tell me what's better than a fresh, warm, flaky, slightly sweet blueberry scone in the morning. I'll tell you my opinion. To be honest, not much. Come with me, follow along as I make these amazing blueberry scones. Let's turn up the heat. Getting started, the first ingredient that we really want to pop in this recipe is the lemon zest. It's not going to be too strong, but the first thing you can do is zest 1 lemon, add 1/3 cup of sugar to that lemon zest, and now all you need to do is rub that lemon zest against that sugar, bringing out that oil and all that lemon aroma. Now to this lemon sugar, you can add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Now to really elevate and bring all those other flavors up to the top to match that lemon zest, add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. If you have salted butter, if you have unsalted butter, add 1/4, so you're going in with a 1/2 teaspoon. For the active ingredient, the leavening, we're going to use baking powder, go in with 2 teaspoons. Now just simply whisk all these ingredients together, get that heavy sugar up off the bottom, incorporate it all, and make sure it's evenly distributed. Next will be the butter, but first, normally I'm saying get your room temperature butter, get your warm butter. Not here, we need cold butter, so leave it in the fridge until you are ready to use it. We're going in with just 1 stick, that's equal to a 1/2 cup. Cut this butter up into cubes. Once all that butter's cut into cubes, go ahead, add this to your dry ingredients. And now we're getting in there with our hands and just break this up into pea-sized pieces. Some a little bit larger, maybe peanut-sized, some maybe just a little bit smaller. And now these larger chunks and small chunks of butter, when it goes in the oven, it's gonna really create that flaky texture that you're used to when you bite into a tender scone. Now that all that butter is broken up into little pea-sized pieces, if you have fresh blueberries, go ahead, add them in now. Just give them a quick toss, incorporate, but make sure not to burst anything. If you're going in with frozen like I am, hold off, just put this bowl to the side and bring in another bowl for your wet ingredients. Going in with 3/4 cups of heavy cream and 1 egg. Whisk these 2 ingredients together. This egg is basically like a glue for the scone. It's going to add a little bit of richness with that yolk, and that cream paired with that butter adds that fat and that richness that you need in a good scone. Now that those 2 are mixed, bring your dry ingredients back in and add your wet to your dry, just in a nice slow stream, slowly mixing with a rubber spatula. Just as all that liquid gets added, now we can go in with the frozen blueberries, add 1 cup. Fold these in, being very careful not to overmix because you don't want to activate that gluten in that flour. If that gets activated, it's almost going to turn into a bread. It's going to get a chewy consistency and it's going to be dense. You want to keep this light, flaky, just slightly mixed, and once you're there, dust a little bit of flour on top of your work surface and dump this dough out of the bowl directly onto that flour. Now with slightly floured hands, shape this into a ball and pat it down into an 8-inch disc. Cut this disc in half, in quarters, and then those quarters into 1/8. Bring in your baking sheet with an added layer of parchment. Toss these 8 scones onto your parchment, and instead of going directly into the oven, these need to go directly into the freezer for 30 minutes. Like I said in the beginning, everything needs to be cold. That butter is most likely at room temperature. We need to bring it back down to a cold state just to make sure when that goes into the oven at 400 degrees, that butter doesn't instantly melt out the sides and the dough actually sets and that butter stays locked in. That's how you get that flaky, beautiful texture. Now out of the freezer, 30 minutes later, just like how we egg wash dough, we're going to brush some cream over these scones. It's going to add just a thin layer of moisture, and it's also going to help these scones brown nicely in the oven. Sprinkle these bad boys with just a little bit of sugar. Now typically you want to use some sort of larger granulation size sugar that looks like little rocks, but regular granulated sugar also works. It's what I've got. It's probably what you have, so just go with it. Now that they're ready and your oven was preheated to 400 degrees, bake these for 20 to 25 minutes until the top and bottoms are golden brown. And if you really need to, you can poke them with a toothpick, and if it comes out clean, you're good to go. Out of the oven, let these cool, and after 10 minutes, you've got this beautiful scone, super soft, flaky, moist. That lemon's coming through, bottom nice golden brown, super blueberry bite right here. Oh my gosh, so good, what the heck. 10 out of 10, definitely recommend. If you like this video, give it a big fat thumbs up. Smash that subscribe button. I'm going to probably eat one more of these. Until next time, peace.